1, 2, 3. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed.
Wall Street, don't panic. I'm only crushing your heads. Crush you.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
We are Girl Drink Drunk, and we're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry we caused all that cancer.
We didn't realize it was such a hideous disease.
We're sorry we caused all that throat cancer and all that bowel cancer.
We're just on a roll.
We won't do it again.
Mm.
And on that note, this is the episode you didn't know you'd been waiting for.
Yes, it's one we have been waiting
We
for a
have
very long
had
time.
this in the works since the idea for this podcast began,
And guess what? It's still going to be a disaster.
and we are still unprepared.
Completely.
This is the episode where you will get an explanation for why we are constantly yelling, Loretta!
Loretta!
The Flash! And in,
Lawrence Flashburn story
Yes.
incoming.
and in anticipation of the new Kids in the Hall series
That's
coming
right,
out on
which
Amazon.
It's not out yet, but it's in the future, so it came out yesterday. So
Right.
we haven't seen it yet.
No, we have not seen it yet. We have no comment, but you will be
No.
hearing us, I think, the day after it premieres, right? Is that right?
Yeah, you'll be hearing it the day. It comes out the 13th.
And so we are going to revisit the original series.
Yes.
But we have never tried to cover.
Did we even say Kids in the Hall?
Well, I mean, it's the name of the fucking episode,
Well,
and there
that's
was a
true.
head crusher.
That's true.
Yeah, this isn't the cancer episode.
No, this is the cancer
Sorry if that
episode.
was confusing. We're talking
Sorry.
about Kids in the Hall. And we've never tried to do a whole TV series, a 5-season
Yeah.
series. We never tried to do any TV series.
Well, we did MTV and Nickelodeon,
Right,
but
we didn't try to cover, one show. So,
We've been trying to.
yeah, we've been trying to do some notes for a long time and figure out how we're going to do this. So we
We'll
are just
just-
going to see what fucking happens.
Just bear with us because we don't have another option. So this
So-
is just what you're going to get because now it's too late.
Kids in the Hall
Yes.
is a Canadian sketch comedy series that aired from 1989 to 1995, but they had been together since 1984. And apparently there used to be women in this group,
Oh.
and their careers quickly went on the rise,
Oh.
and they got their own stuff, and it was left with the boys. So all the drag is by necessity. They did not choose to not have women.
like Shakespeare.
And I guess the drag is not supposed to be drag. It's they're
They're just
women that
playing
they
women.
knew in Canada. Like they're just playing women. And so it wasn't supposed to be
Playing
over the top.
Helens.
And that's why, and that's why they did
Playing
very like
Cathys.
regular lady Kathy drag. And so I watched this when I was like probably the year it premiered on HBO. I was maybe 10.
Yeah.
I was at my babysitter's house, the same babysitter where I used to try to watch the Spice Channel between the
through
green
those
lines.
scambled?
Them
Scambled.
scambled lines.
It's a cross between scrambled and scambled.
And the Kids in the Hall came on, and there was enough in it, the chicken lady and the crushing your head, that like appealed to a 10-year-old, that the
Well,
other
'cause
stuff that went over my head just went over my head.
Dumb.
Oh yeah, it's dumb, but it's also a lot more scandalous than I
Very
remember.
scandalo.
And so there are some things that you
some
may be
things that
saying, how are they going to cover that? We probably won't.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how we approach this,
There
because
will be mentions.
so the way we decided to cover this is that we're going to go by like sketches and characters, because we can't obviously go through 5 seasons of a show.
No, like not show by show, not episode by episode.
And so, and I had seen, so since we're not going to tell this, we're going to tell the Buddy Cole story later when we get to Buddy. But I have one other Kids in the Hall story, which is that Loretta and I
Loretta.
went and saw Bruce McCullough do like readings from one of his books. This is maybe, I don't know, 7-8 years ago at a little tiny theater in LA. And Scott was there, and I want to say he opened for him, but he was also just like there in the audience. And I had brought my DVDs along of Kids in the Hall because I knew it was like a little tiny venue. And I was like, maybe, but you know how I am. And so we're sitting in the row getting ready for the show to start. It's still kind of empty. And Scott Thompson is 10 feet away. at the end of the row talking to some obviously like friends,
Right.
where they're catching up, whatever. And Loretta's elbowing me. Are you gonna
Like,
ask
go-
him? You
go
gonna ask
over
him?
there.
You gonna ask him? And I'm like, he's talking to his friend.
Talking to his friends, Loretta.
Stop elbowing me. And she's like, come on. He's like, right there. He's not doing anything. Like, come on, now's your chance. Now's your chance. And I'm like, and she can tell I'm not going to do it. And she finally is like, give me the fucking movie. And she takes it and she goes and she just stands behind Scott Thompson patiently and waits for him to stop talking. And as he turns, hey. And she holds up the DVD and a pen because I brought a Sharpie and was like, can you sign this for my
Right.
friend? So I have a signature from Scott Thompson. So then at the end of the show, but I did not speak to him.
Right.
So then at the end of the show, Bruce comes out to do signings and she's like, bitch, come on. She don't call me bitch, but
Well,
I call you bitch and you call me bitch. So
right.
it's just like,
that's just it's the vernaculars.
she's like, come on, are you going to go? There's like people, it's not like a weird thing. Like,
Right.
he's
Like you're
signing
supposed
things.
to.
And I can't do it.
I know.
And
I've
so
always-
she takes it and goes up and she goes, will you at least take pictures of me meeting Bruce McCullough? So I'm like, okay. And girl, I will post these photos. I will dig these out and find them. They are the blurriest photos.
That's like when we went to DragCon and met James St. James, and I felt so bad because all the pictures I took of Liana were like all,
I'm so nervous.
I'm like, oh shit, it's James St. James, and like mine are all good.
Yeah, because she was all calm. Yeah, so I have pictures of Loretta meeting Bruce McCullough, and
It
they're
kinda
all
looks
blurry
like that.
because I was so shaky. So, but I do have both Bruce and Scott's signatures. So there you go.
Hey,
I'll post pictures of those too of my
Yeah.
signed DVDs. And in fact, you can find those on our Instagram at Doom Generation Pod
Oh,
because I didn't
yeah.
do any business, but that's fine because I don't know how this is gonna go.
right.
So-
We'll just see. And I also purchased today Buddy Cole's favorite album and book.
That's right.
I just bought it because I found it for cheaps, and it was the covers that I required. But we'll
There
talk
you
about
go.
that later.
So let's get into it. Kids in the Hall is composed of Dave Foley, Scott Thompson, Mark McKinney, Bruce McCullough, and Kevin McDonald. If I have to say other things you might know them from, this isn't the episode for you.
Right? It's just
If
not.
you don't know them from Kids in the Hall,
right, then it's useless.
I don't know how to
In
explain
fact,
who they
I
are.
think like right now, this weekend, in this time, in our present times,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce McCullough is doing some stage shows in
in
New
Canada.
York.
Oh, in New
No,
York.
in
Yeah,
New
he's
York
also
right
doing
now.
some, I think, soon in
Mhm.
Canada. Yeah. So he does
But
a lot of
that's
his
by the time you hear
book
this, it'll be
readings.
done.
But yeah, it was good. So I have a weird, long, color-coded list of things,
Wow, that's
which Tessa is just now seeing for the first time.
oh. This is. I was gonna say concise, but it's not.
It's not. So I got more to say about some things and less to say about others. And
Right.
it kind of started alphabetical and then it gets a little bit scrambled. It kind of started as all characters, but they tie some stuff in,
right. They
crossover
yeah,
characters
there are
and things. So,
that reoccurring and whatever.
but so the first mention I have is AT&T Love Boss and Danny Husk.
Mm-hmm.
So AT&T Love Boss was Dave Foley with the bald cap and the mustache,
Right.
and like a little bit of a fat suit.
Yeah,
maybe.
he kind of had like a little panza.
And then Scott Thompson in that luscious mustache.
Right.
And so the first one, and I don't know,
It's like
these
a
are
cop stash.
these. Yes, it was a cop stash. These are not in any kind of order
No.
by episode or season or
Mm-mm.
whatever.
We're
These are
just-
the episodes I found in the orders I found them in.
These are the episodes we found. We found. These are the episodes we found.
And I will make a YouTube playlist with as many of these as I can find on YouTube and put
For
them in there for
reference.
reference. So this one opens with Danny in the sauna. With this is not 18 Love Boss because this is Dave Foley just looking like Dave Foley in
Right.
the sauna. So they're in the sauna side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave looks at Danny and says, "Have you ever looked at my body?"
Right.
No. Well, would you mind?
But you look. He's like,
looking at
"Okay,
my body.
I'm turning my head. I'm looking at your body now. Oh,
He
there it
pulls
is.
the towel around his shoulders, and he
How
has
long
these
have I
pert
had
little
these
titties?
How long have I had these?
Are these new?
Are these new?
And Danny cannot stop staring.
Oh,
Am
my
I
eyes
sure?
are up here.
Oh, the girls in the office are right.
Yeah.
And he goes over and Danny steams up the room.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he is clearly groping
yes, he goes.
Dave
and grabs
Foley's
it.
titties behind the
helps it.
steam.
He wants to grab a titty. He's
Oh my goodness.
gross.
So that is the first Danny Husk I have.
right.
Then I have the kidnapping,
Mm-hmm.
where Danny sees a headline in the newspaper that he himself has been kidnapped.
Right. I've been kidnapped.
And he says to the paper boy, "I better get back to the office right away."
Right.
And as he's running in, everyone's telling him, "Sorry to hear about your tragedy." And it's like, Oh, it's so absurd.
I know. It's ridiculous, really.
So they call and they want $3,000 or he's dead meat.
Oh, $3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah, I
is
know.
all
Like,
Danny Husk was
okay.
worth.
I could probably pay that.
And so he, his wife calls. He says he needs ransom. He gets off the phone, throws his wedding ring down. He goes to the boardroom to present, and they all tell him they chipped in and came up with the ransom money through prostitution.
Yeah.
They're $2 short.
Oh,
The kidnappers
no.
are on the way. So he gets the copy guy to copy a $2 bill. Goes to the train station, gives the kidnappers the money.
It's a toonie.
A toonie, that's right. And they're like, you better not be lying, or Husk is dead.
Right.
It's so crazy.
It's not
he's
even
Husk.
there.
Trust a low life like you. Trust game.
Right.
He just fucking throws himself backwards.
Trust game.
And the kidnapper catches him. Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
Right.
And he sees that fake toonie and he pulls it out and he bites it and chews it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then he smacks Danny on the ass and he walks away.
Yeah.
And Danny runs out and gets the paper. Danny free.
I'm free.
And then he flies over the city streets.
Because why?
Woo!
Because why?
And this is why 10-year-old me was
yeah.
in love with this show.
Because it's stupid.
And then the next Danny I have is his car won't start.
Right. And he opens the hood and tells his wife to try it and closes the hood and try it now. Nothing. And what does he kick
the tire,
Yeah.
try it now, nothing. Wash
Right.
the windows, try it now,
Nothing.
nothing.
Mm-mm.
Paints the trunk. Yes. Maybe we should just stay home, rent a movie, build a fire, just
Right.
the two of us. Try it now. Try it now.
No use.
So he opens the hood. Oh, here's the problem.
It's one of the Thompson brats.
He pulls a small toddler out of the engine. And I love
Right.
that it said one of the Thompson brats.
Right.
And it's Scott Thompson.
Of course.
And then goes and puts him back through the little kitty door of the house that's like a dog door. And it sounds like the child is eaten by a large dog.
It's delicious. Oh no! Are you being eaten by a large dog? Blink twice. If you...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I don't know how many times that was. It was more than twice.
It's more than twice. So now I just sent a message that you'll never know because I blinked 3 times. So what does that mean?
I don't know. Do you need help?
Then I have Danny doing the paper fortune teller at the boardroom table.
Yeah, like he takes him aside, like he's lost his business edge.
You need to go on a weekend retreat.
Oh,
So he sends him to the warrior within.
right.
And Kevin McDonald, all blonde, comes out. He gives them all animal names. Danny's
Yes.
the walrus? No, tiger.
Right. Mama, Papa, Dada, Dada.
I
an
am
animal.
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 And Danny flashes back to his dad shooting pucks at him in the
Oh,
net while
he's
he cries.
like howls at the moon.
And he chases the rabbit man.
Right.
And then I was like, fuck, I need to keep the subtitles on because was he a walrus or a wolf? I don't fucking remember.
I don't know. He like conquers him.
Yeah, he conquers the rabbit man. His phone rings.
Right.
And then he goes back to the office. Danny's howling.
It is like,
And that's what gets the guy from the beginning
Right,
who wouldn't
he
do the
agrees.
business deal with him to
right.
agree.
He's like, well, now, like you're a wolf man, so I'm into it.
So I know there's more Danny Husks.
Of
There's
course.
so many. And I didn't even talk about AT and Love Boss. I said it, but he's the boss
yeah.
in all of these stories.
Right,
but
right,
he's
right.
not the key to all of the funny shit that happens.
No. What is it? Bellini?
The Meat Bellini contest.
Yes.
That was a feature for, I want to say, more than a season that they did. Every once in a while they would promote the contest.
Right.
And then there was an episode where it was the winner allegedly of this contest and they
Mm-hmm.
showed them like hanging out. And so Bellini was the fat hairy man in the towel.
Right.
And he is in a band with Scott Thompson.
Oh, what kind of band? Do you know?
Not a good one.
Oh,
Remember, we
no.
listened to a little bit of it.
Oh, are we?
No, we did.
Oh,
Remember?
you
Didn't I
did?
play it for you?
No.
You blocked it out already.
I
'cause
might
did,
have.
Didn't I, Kim? I did.
Oh, you
It's
played
called
it for-
Mouth Congress.
Mm,
And I don't know if it was good back then.
I
Good now.
apparently have
Sorry,
blocked
Scott.
this memory.
If you hear this, we love you, but you could just give up on that part of it.
Well, I don't even know. Stick to your day job.
So then I wrote Bobby Terrence and the Devil, but like, so the Devil's a recurring character, but
Right. And the
I don't know what you
Devil's
could
back
say
in the
about
new
him.
one.
Yeah, Devil's back in the new one.
Mhm.
And so Bobby Terrence was Bruce McCullough, who was like a shitty teenager who was terrible at playing the guitar, but for
Right.
some reason Satan decided he was like the world's greatest guitar player.
Well,
and
he was going to make him the world's greatest
Well, he
guitar
came to
player?
battle him, and then
Or
the
so- it's
Satan
very
was
Tenacious
obviously
D.
yes, and Satan was obviously way better than Bobby at the guitar. But then
Well,
Bobby
yeah.
commences the wah wah pedal, and then
Commence
Satan's
the wah-wah pedal.
and then Satan's like blown out of the water.
Wah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Wah wah.
And so I know there's a bunch of recurring sketches with Bobby and the devil, but like it's all the same theme.
And
I don't have a lot to say about it.
we will have seen it again by the time this
Yeah.
airs.
You may have seen it already again.
Right?
Buddy Cole.
Okay.
Let's tell the story. Before we
Were
get into
telling
Buddy.
the story?
we're gonna tell
Well,
the
hold
story.
on. Hold on. I gotta have my drink.
Oh, wait. We're gonna light one for this. We gotta get our Buddy Cole on.
Because in the early days he smells.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Well, now, hold on now. Hold on now. I gotta go find all of
So while
these.
she sets her notes up, we went to the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater
Yeah.
in
when
LA,
was
which
that?
is a little tiny. It came up in my fucking
I
thing.
know.
I
just
gotta look.
recently.
4 or 5 years ago, not
I'd say.
super long time ago.
No.
So the UCB theater is a tiny. We didn't know this. We'd never been there. We got these tickets fairly cheap. It was like one of those things we saw on Facebook. Like Buddy Cole is doing a.
Right. Because I follow.
It's like a working show. So it's him
Right.
still figuring out his like stand up routine as Buddy Cole.
and it's like, it's a whole stage show
As Buddy.
Buddy Cole. So he's doing his monologues.
So it's me, Tessa, Liana, and Loretta.
Mm-hmm.
And we get tickets and we get there and it's this little bitty.
It's kind of late.
What, 100? No, more than 100 maybe.
It was more than
Couple
100, but it wasn't very big.
It was pretty small.
It was like the size of the theater in my high school.
Yeah. So we got there late and we get in and there's not like seating. There's not assigned seating. And so we get in and we're looking around and it's super
general
full.
admission.
And the only seats that we can see
Are on the stage.
on the stage. No
They're
shit. you guys.
folding chairs on the stage.
Like they look like they're part of his
right.
show.
So
like
you
that
don't
some
know
actors
because
are
we were
gonna come
looking
sit
like
there.
there's no seats.
And the usher ushers us to the stage.
Right.
And we're
Go
like,
ahead. We're like, really?
surely
these are
they're gonna move us.
right.
From
These
the
are
stage.
not reserved
And
seats.
so we're on the side. So it's a little stage. It's not like she said, like high school theater, maybe
yeah.
the size of the stage.
It was pretty small.
So we're in our little folding chairs waiting to get kicked out.
On the first
surely
row
this is a
of
mistake.
there's
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 rows of
And we're
folding
in
chairs.
the closest one because we're like, well, fuck it. If we're gonna be this close, let's
Yeah,
be
we're
this
sitting in the
close.
front fucking seat.
And lo and behold, here comes Buddy Cole. Nobody
Right.
kicks us out,
Nope.
and I am in Buddy Cole drag.
Oh no! Before that, before any
Oh,
of that even
none of
happened,
that
the
happens.
whole.
So let's
main
start
point of
with
this
that.
fucking
Loretta
story,
and
we're
I are
standing on
both
the
in
feet.
Buddy Cole drag,
Right,
and I'll post a picture of my Buddy Cole drag too.
right.
And we're sitting on the stage, looking out into the audience,
And you can see Bruce McCullough is there.
Bruce McCullough's in the audience.
He's recording it, and we see is that Lawrence Fishburne?
Fucking Cowboy Curtis out there in the
Is
audience.
he out there? Like, look at that's fucking Lawrence Fishburne. Like he's sitting like in the middle
Yeah, like
of
right
the
center
of the theater,
Yeah.
like whatever. And yeah, that's him. Like, get a picture
So Loretta, from the stage, pulls her phone out.
from the stage.
You guys, I want you to really put yourself there. We're
Picture
on
this.
the stage in
Picture
a
this.
small theater the size of your high school theater, and Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus himself, is in the theater,
Is about where Kim's sitting right now.
25 to 50 feet away max. She pulls out her camera, and we're like trying to be inconspicuous, so
Right,
we're
we're
like
like,
not
"Oh,
all
play
staring.
cool."
We're letting her do her thing, pretend like she's taking a picture of us.
We were so cool.
We were so cool, and we realize we look over, and girl got her flash on.
Loretta, the
She took
flash.
a pic- and you know what she says about this? She says, if I didn't have the flash on, you wouldn't been able to see Lawrence Fishburne in the picture.
Well,
he
and
is
that's
looking-
true. He's looking like
he is looking
dead at
dead
the fucking camera.
at the camera, like red eye, like
Dagger
flashed eye,
eyes.
dagger eyes, like,
You bitch.
Did
Oh
you
my
really
God.
think you were going to get away with her turning the fucking
The
flash on from the stage?
flash,
And now the
Loretta.
tragedy is, I know this picture exists. She
I've
posted it
seen
on the
it.
internet,
I was there,
and she
It is-
can't find it.
she
So
can't
we're going
find
to
the
try by the
picture.
time this comes out to get it.
but oh my
oh
God.
my God, it was
yeah,
hilarious.
Lawrence Fishburne was there and she flashed him from the stage.
We flashed Lawrence
We
Fishburne.
flashed
Lawrence. So that's why we say
Lawrence
Lawrence
Flashburn.
Flashburn. And that's
Yes.
why we say Loretta the Flash.
Right, but that show was amazing.
So, front row, Buddy Cole comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my Buddy Cole drag. Loretta's
Yes.
in her Buddy Cole drag. We're side by side. And one of the first things he says is these lesbians.
Yeah, it's
this
nice to see the
nice to see the
lesbians are out.
lesbians are out for the show tonight. And he does this show, and it's so good.
Oh,
it's so funny.
It's Buddy Cole.
It's brand new Buddy Cole monologues about
it's-
whatever was current events at the
Mhm.
time. So good. And he literally, you guys, he comes over to us and he's grabbing our knees.
Mm-hmm.
He is sweating on us.
Yes.
He is spitting on us, not intentionally, but he is in
Right.
his Buddy Cole
We
finest,
are
and
on
we are like
the stage.
in
These
the
were
fucking-
the last
oh my God.
seats in the theater.
because we were late.
Right.
So the moral of that story is, I guess, don't always be so worried about being late, everyone.
Sometimes getting
Sometimes it's
stuck in
good.
LA traffic works out for you.
And that is the Buddy Cole story.
That is the Buddy Cole story. But I have here like the first one being the Love at First Sight.
It's an impossible idea.
I found all of these sketches on the gay comedy sketches on YouTube.
Oh,
they have
nice.
like all of them. But yeah, like I may have been born yesterday,
But I
still
still
went
shopping.
shopping. And he said that.
Yes.
He said that at
Yes.
the show. That's the line.
And of course, a lot of Buddy stories
Mm-hmm.
are not appropriate in this day and age.
I have it typed out several times, but I'm not going to say it.
Which part?
The F slur.
Oh no, that wasn't even a. Oh yeah, he says that a lot.
A lot.
So yeah, we don't say the F word. Remember, we established that in episode 1. We're not
We
going to
didn't
do
say
it.
We did
but
it
it's
that one time.
gonna
one-
be
one
hard
for
in this
each.
show.
Well,
because they say the F slur a
It's-
lot.
but there's that other one that Scott Thompson that's so good where he comes out of his house in the outfit.
F word.
And the kid
And then
rides
he
by
comes
on the
out, like,
bike. He comes
in
out
more
in, like,
straight and straight
like-
clothes, and then finally the
it's like
leather
harem
daddy
pants and
Yes.
like curly toed shoes. And then it's like, oh, and then he comes out in like chinos and a boat shoes and
F
slur.
word. Yeah.
And then like he comes out like a leather daddy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They always know.
But yes, back to Buddy Cole, and he talks about living in Baghdad.
On the day in question, it was a sexy, sunny,
Sunny,
Iraqi
Rocky
day.
day. I was at the Danish consulate wearing
Wearing
nothing
next
but
to
a
nothing.
diplomat's hat.
Yes. And so it was a crazy, crazy time.
I was the top model for Egyptian jeans, face on every billboard all over the Middle East.
And still the fighting continued. Oh, and so Serge the man.
God! If I ever take a lover,
his name has to be Serge.
oh, their name's got to be Serge.
I don't care what your
I don't
name
care
is.
what your name is.
I'm calling you
It's
Serge.
Serge, my lover.
He came
Serge.
striding to the pool area and shot me a raw look of passion that
The
heroes
heroes
have been shooting at
each other
heroes at for thousands of years. Oh.
Oh God!
So he tells this elaborate story about
Yes.
his time in
I
Baghdad.
buried my face in a copy of Kufa Khan, but it was upside down, so I feigned dyslexia.
Oh, and then Serge jumped into the pool fully clothed, and in one clean, swift moment, he was there.
And with the spontaneity of a champagne and a slipper, I said, I need a lover.
They were together for 6 months, which in heterosexual terms is 3 reincarnations with the same mate.
But Serge is dead to me now. They all are.
He walked right out of my life and smack into the front of a bus. All my lovers have been killed by buses. I must get a place in the country.
Oh my God.
And then I have the lesbian softball team.
Oh, yeah. That's my other favorite one is the Sluggers.
Yeah, so he has to coach a lesbian softball team.
Is this the one where he talks about like so much fuss over a couple little S's?
Yeah, and then but he designs them this
Oh,
skirted
yes.
open titty top uniform,
with them nipples out.
and then he ends up wearing it at the end.
Well, he calls them in like, buddy, you're not a woman. Labels.
That was a favorite.
Right.
When he quit smoking, he saved enough money to buy his own gay bar.
Right. It's buddies. You're sitting in it.
Can't stay in the closet now that I own a gay bar.
Right.
I'm as high profile as a city councilman. And he does this whole like old celebs dragged out by the press. So like
Right.
celebrity references that you might get and I don't, like Richard Chamberlain. I don't know what's the Richard
All of the
Chamberlain
things,
reference.
like all of, like it reminds me of what Drew Droge,
oh yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
does the
Shit,
Chloe,
yeah,
but
Chloe.
it's the two queens on the phone.
Yes, that's so good.
Because
So
I feel
good.
like Buddy Cole does a thing about Anne Murray. Like Anne Murray said to James Baldwin, in
Yeah,
a
he's always bringing
bistro
up
in
old-
France. Like, if you think that's hard, try being gay and Canadian.
Mhm. And he wants to know, why is being outed a bad thing? My
Right.
admiration for somebody increases tenfold when I find out they're
tenfold,
gay.
right.
Except for he refuses to believe Liberace was gay.
I just don't want him to be.
And then he says him and Roy Cohen, which I don't know who that is.
Right.
It's like being told Satan's a F slur.
Right.
Maybe that's why God's such a homophobe and Satan's so sexy.
Sexy. Yeah.
And then he talks about comics that bash the F slur.
Oh, he talks about
Sam Kinison.
Like he must have.
I'm not saying he's gay. I'm just saying he used to be a preacher.
Yeah. And then he talks about like Andrew Dice Clay is phonier than Milli Vanilli.
Like someone took your grandma who can't speak English, taught her to curse phonetically, and put her on HBO and made her a star.
It's not the dirty words. I have enormous respect for filth.
Yes, we have enormous respect for filth, but it's the hate. We don't stand hate.
No, Dice is not the new Lenny Bruce.
He and Eddie Murphy. Yes,
Yeah.
he and Eddie Murphy are just pissed off. They give us such a beep vibe.
Right. I'm not saying they're gay. I'm just saying they smell like rough
trade
trade.
to me.
And the saddest thing of all is I'd still have sex with both of them.
You and me both, girl. Back then,
Both Andrew Dice Clay and Eddie Murphy.
If
The
I was
tooth
this
gap
age now, back then,
between the two,
I don't know.
the
I mean,
toothery.
the toothery.
The absolute toothery of it all.
I never really considered. Eddie
I
Murphy's
did enjoy
teeth.
watching that Andrew Dice Clay thing where he was doing the dance from Saturday Night Fever.
yes.
It was literally it was the choreographer.
You guys, go follow Andrew Dice Clay on TikTok.
I can fact check that with my mind because I remember
it's
it.
pretty funny. It's what you expect, but not, and it's good.
It's not.
So then I had. This is the one I had the actor, singer, dancer, model, Canadian. I can make the word
Canadian.
Canadian
Sounds
sexy.
sexy.
And on my resume, my agent replaced the word gay with blonde, Canadian with outdoorsy. So I replaced outdoorsy with blousy, which makes me a blousy blonde.
Yes.
Oh, and then there's one on racism that I'm not going to repeat.
No, that one was.
It's
a
a
little
good
rough.
one, but it's a little rough to
but
say out loud.
It's not going to translate. My favorite one, I think, is the Queen of England, with the private
The pen
correspondence
pals.
of Buddy Cole and
Yes.
Elizabeth Windsor, the kerfluffle.
And they're both him.
15 years of sharing secrets, laughter, and jewels. It was just like, Edward is the one who bothers her at this juncture.
My favorite
Which
is
one's
the
yours?
black and white Acme home delivery of your very own male slave. Do you remember
Oh.
this one?
Yes.
And Kevin McDonald is delivered in his assless chaps
Yes.
in an Acme box to the home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to toilet train him, and he pisses in Buddy's face.
Right.
And he paddles his ass in the assless chaps.
That was like a later one.
Feeds
wasn't
him
it?
slave chow in
Yes.
a Brucey bowl. Takes him for a walk in this magnificent fur.
Mm-hmm.
And the slave gets away because he's talking to a neighbor, but
Right.
he has a built-in homing instinct and goes home. And then he finds out he could live up to 73 years, and he goes, "What? I was told they live 6 months like sea monkeys. This is going right back to the store." That is my favorite Buddy Cole.
Oh.
So those are all the Buddy Coles I have.
I had a bunch of them, but like I said,
We
Queen
could do
Elizabeth
but
one,
almost
but
a whole
we
episode on
probably
just
could,
Buddy
just
Cole.
that on its own. The Wood Nymph is a good one. That one's like a real short one.
Which one was that?
Where he's like, I love nature, especially the animal kingdom. Oh, look, a wood nymph. Oh, that's not something you see every day. Well, I do. And it's like, oh God, who is it? Mark McKinney's out there.
Oh,
like a
that's
little,
right. And it's like little, yes, that's
like
right.
out in the trees.
I do
And then I
remember that
thought,
one.
for a second, I thought I went and looked this up. So this did not end well. I thought for a second that the Queen Elizabeth that Scott Thompson did the cum tree thing, but it's not. It's not Scott Thompson doing the cum tree, the linden tree with Queen
That's
Elizabeth.
from
Something else.
That's from Mitchell and Webb.
Yeah, I know. It's not this. But so I was like, oh, wait, was that? So I went to search it. And instead of
search things
typing,
with the word cum
okay,
on them.
so instead of typing it in correctly,
Oh no! How could it be?
what I
worse?
typed in was
Oh no!
Queen Elizabeth cum trays.
Oh.
And then when I realized that trays wasn't the word, instead of backspacing all the way, I misspelled again. Yes.
Queen Elizabeth, come yes.
Queen Elizabeth, cum trays. Yes.
And what were your results?
Thankfully, nothing weird came up. It was like, did you mean Queen Elizabeth's Diamond Jubilee? And I'm
Yep,
like,
that's what I meant.
no. So eventually I got there. Once I saw what I had searched, I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
Now that's in my search history. If I ever search Queen Elizabeth again, it's going to like autofill.
Oh, my
Queen
Lord.
Elizabeth, come trays, yes. Oh.
Oy.
But I eventually found it and found out that it was not this.
No. That's
not
that
at all.
Mitchell and Webb look. And if
Yeah.
you haven't seen the Cumtree sketch, it's a good one.
You used to have a cum tree out in front of your house.
Oh God, you guys know what we're talking about. For some people,
When
you think
the-
it's a plant or a bush. Some
It's
people
a
it's
tree.
a
It's a
tree.
linden tree.
But like, we used to just call them cum plants.
It
like,
smells like semen.
on
then
a
the springtime,
a
and
summer,
a balmy,
a balmy night.
balmy night.
Smell like you just walked into an all male orgy.
It smells like the back room at Lay Sex Shop.
Oh, don't go in that room.
I've been in that room.
Don't do that.
I'm sure it's different now.
Stinky floors.
Yes. It's
Speaking of nasty, dirty men, Cabbage Head.
So, Cabbage
Bruce
Head.
McCullough.
Yes.
So he is a wannabe womanizer who uses
Right.
his quote unquote disability of having a cabbage for a head to try to get some sympathy fucks.
Of course.
So yeah, so his whole thing is
He's a
I've got a
misog-
cabbage
yeah,
for a
he's-
head.
He's a misogynist.
Yes.
He's a dick.
So he takes a lady on a date in this one,
Mm-hmm.
and right away is pointing out
Right.
the cabbage head, and
Yeah.
she's like trying to just have a nice time
He's been touchy about these things
since birth. And so he orders her a bowl of gin, no ice. I don't have time to wait for it to melt. And I'll have a rum and rye garnished with a couple Tums.
Ooh.
And he immediately starts telling her he loves her.
Right. He's having such strong feelings. He's having
And
trouble with his gut.
he's only known her for an hour.
Yeah.
And then she wants to know about him. He's like, what's with the third degree?
Right.
Sorry, my emotions are making me testy.
Yeah. I just don't want to be alone tonight, though.
I thought you were different. I am. Look at my head. Or no, she says, I thought you were different.
Right,
I am.
like,
Look
I
at
am.
my head.
Look at my head.
Mom. Makes that
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
She's tired of talking about his head.
Right.
And he's like, I paid for your bus fare. You owe me.
You owe me. And yeah, she throws the drink on him and she leaves.
So then he asks the waitress out.
Right.
She has a rule about dating creeps.
right. She also
No.
throws,
That's the rule. And she also throws
the
a drink on him.
drink. Yeah. Like,
Can I get a towel? A
Lettuce
lettuce spinner. Then, so I only have a couple more for him. Woman coming home after a date with him. Are you going to sleep with me or what?
No.
It's because I have a cabbage for a head, isn't it?
No.
I hardly noticed.
Yeah.
I had a bad childhood.
The other kids wouldn't let me join in their game.
My dad is a farmer. He tried to harvest my head.
So, how about it?
The mummy and the daddy dance, he says to her.
Oh, yes, that's gross.
And she's like, if I sleep with you, it'll only be out of pity. Hey, I'm the king of the mercy fuck.
Oh, at least let me come in and get some water.
I gotta
or else-
water my head.
Yeah, or else I'll go bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, cabbage head must die.
Must die.
So the activist, that was a recurring sketch that
right.
the reason I didn't have any notes is because that is not one that you can find by just searching Kids in the Hall, the activists.
Right.
There's nothing comes up when you do that. So, but yes, there was a recurring sketch of like these group of people trying to save animals from labs and all
Save
this stuff.
things.
So they're meeting, someone knocks, third activist arrives, and Shona, which is Bruce McCullough, who
Right.
she's supposed to be like a
Shona.
feminazi, that's how
Right.
they, which is
Yeah.
not a thing. Okay, it may be a
Well,
thing,
that's a
but that's
very
not what she was. She was
Well,
just
back then, that's what.
right. That's what you
know,
called girls who liked girls and wanted to fight for the rights of
Fight
anything.
for
Was a
the right
feminazi
of
She
my
was a feminist. That was it.
pussy.
That's right. So she decides that their duty is that Cabbage Head must die, which I get because he's a womanizer, because he's a misogynist and
I mean,
a pig.
I get like he always embarrasses himself. It's not like he's getting
I
anything
know.
out of this.
I don't think
like
he ever
never
gets
ends
laid.
up on top. So like, why kill him? Let
And-
him live and suffer.
And this is the most disgusting thing I ever heard him say. So he's at the bar hitting on a woman, says if she does him, he'll tell her his name. And then he says, to err is human, to spread for me divine.
Oh,
What?
oh,
There's some vomit ASMR for you guys. And so she asks, "Are you married?" "Yes, but not happily. My wife is in a coma, and I think she might be a lesbian." "Why is she a lesbian?" "Because she stopped shaving her legs."
Okay.
So the activist breaks in, and Shona shoots him right through his cabbage head, which like coleslaw shoots all over the faces of everyone behind him. It's
no.
hilarious. And then they bail, but he is still alive, still being a pig. He's like
course.
imagining flying in space, being beckoned by God.
He's alive on a talk show with his head all
Well,
bandaged
before that,
up.
God says, "I made you in my own image,"
Oh,
and
no.
reveals that he himself has
Has
a cabbage for a head.
Oh no.
So Cabbage Head wakes up, and then he's on a talk show, like a
Right.
televangelist show.
It's all bandaged up or whatever, and he tells the story about the Lord having a cabbage head. That's right.
God has shown him that hitting on women every moment of every day was just an evil phase, and then he calls out his blessed assistants in their shiny bathing suits to
Right.
come sit in his lap and show how they would sit in the lap of the Lord.
That's gross. They have a sacred wet T-shirt contest
or baptism to raise money for orphans.
for those orphans.
And before we get into my next favorite character,
We gotta take a break.
gotta take a quick break.
We gotta take a break.
All right, back. We are back.
We're back.
And we still have a lot to get through and
Wow.
are gonna be a little long on time. So
I thought we weren't gonna make it.
we're gonna try to do this relatively quickly. We are gonna miss some of your favorite characters. I'm sure fucking yell at us.
Yeah,
Call our
get at us. Call our phone
Doom
number. We got a
line,
phone
dude.
number.
It's on our Instagram.
Wait, did you say that earlier?
No, I don't
That
think
we
I
have a
ever
phone
did
number?
say that we got a phone number, but we have a phone number. You can call us at 702-720-DOOM.
Doom.
Fucking complain. Anyway,
Yeah, fucking complain.
Dave Foley
Yes.
comes down the hall and rings a doorbell for a date. And the
Yeah.
neighbors are coming out of their apartment at the same time, and the noise
like,
they make.
"Oh."
And they run down the hall.
Yeah.
And the door opens, and it is
The
a chicken lady. Come on in.
No.
Want to eat dinner out here? I did last night. And she yanks him inside the apartment.
Like, so she's very aggressive.
And as she yanks him, she throws him into the opposite wall,
Right.
slams the door.
There's all these stud posters.
Yes, and then
The
he's
chicken
like,
lady's very horny.
yeah. And he's like, "Well, what are you?" "God, you're not too bright.
I'm a chicken lady.
And I love life."
Do you love life?
I never took chicken lady literally. "You're not too bright." Just the way I like them.
This is my mom.
And she points at these photos, and it's the chicken is the mom,
Right,
and that's my dada. And it's a man blocking it's Mark McKinney blocking the
It's
lens.
a chicken fucker.
He left home the day I was born. They say he ain't never coming back.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, eh?
And she's like, "Let's get a look at you. You're different."
The other guys are bigger.
And I got tired of paying for it.
Adds
Adds up. And he's like, "I can't stay." Sure you can. She puts him in a seat. He says he's a banker.
Right. Can I get you a beer?
Or you just want to drink out of the toilet? A beer.
Okay, suit yourself.
So he tries to sneak out while she like ducks into the kitchen literally.
It's like, sign my yearbook.
High school was hell for me. All the other kids tease me. So she comes out with her plate.
Right.
Gravel and grubs, gravel and grubs. I love to eat my gravel and grubs. She perches on a chair and starts chomping down a worm. And he's like,
Do you want an
mortified.
omelet?
"I got you an omelet." And he's like, "Oh, good,
God.
good.
He's like, wait.
Of course, they're fresh, straight out of my body and onto your plate."
Oh,
and his face.
He screams.
He just screams and bails.
Oh, it's
Gotta get
fresh.
laid. Gotta get laid. Oh, great. $50.
Call the stud line.
She calls the stud line. Send Gunther up.
sent Gunther.
So that was the first. That might have been the first chicken lady
It
one.
might
I think
be,
it
yeah.
might be.
Right.
So then my next favorite is the strip club.
My favorite one.
That's
is the
yeah. Well,
strip
yeah.
club,
This is really my favorite one. So
Right, with the
goes to the
bearded
strip club with the
lady.
bearded lady, who's
Uh-huh.
Kevin McDonald.
Eats the worm from the tequila.
And after the first stripper leaves,
Right. The other guy can't perform because he got injured.
because somebody won't stay off the stage.
Yes. I can't imagine whom you'd be talking about, but here's a rooster boy.
Oh my God! And here comes Scott Thompson in his cockle
living,
hat and feathered tail.
living. With like, you could see like he waxed.
He was looking. He was fit.
He,
Yeah.
yes.
Hello.
The nalgas?
Yes.
I could see like the
I would
borders
put
and
some
the outline
dollars
of
in
his
that
dick.
fucking G-string.
I could see like the sides of his balls.
When he took off that You might
Yeah,
have
with the-
exploded too when he dropped a
Oh,
song on her head.
oh.
And she just fucking feathers everywhere. All the other ladies like freak out and leave.
Right.
And then, oh my God. Want to get a taxi? Oh, and then she has the one where they're driving her, where the bearded lady's driving her around to
Yes.
find where she was born.
Right. I was born in a stable.
And she like imagines, she touches the kitchen table and
Right.
flashes back to her birth. A man cracking an egg with a mallet. What is it? It's supposed to be a chicken, but also a kid, a chicken kid.
Chicken kid.
And then he looks at his son. What have you done? How dare you? And he runs out.
He's
Oh
also
my
a chicken
God.
fucker.
And then it turns out that, that was not her house. She's been
No.
doing this at like every house in this fucking neighborhood.
Right.
And then like, we can't go through all of these. Like I said,
No,
I have so
it's-
many notes on Chicken Lady.
So many, but Rooster Boy is, I think it's my favorite.
But the hobby horse. So a kid's riding a hobby horse outside the store and Chicken Lady approaches.
Right.
Hi, is he going to be long on the horse? And he's like, I'm afraid my son hasn't finished his ride yet, but I got to get on. I got to do everything like I did the day before. I washed myself in the toilet, deposited $3 in the bank, rode all day on the city bus, and then I came here, drank 2 bottles of tequila under the loading docks. I have to get on by 6:30
Why is it important?
because I'm masturbating.
Masturbating.
And the lady takes her kid and goes and tries to leave, and she's like, "Oh, she needs a quarter. She
Of
wants a
course,
quarter now.
right.
You want me to give you a quarter so you can masturbate in front of my child?"
Yes.
Yes. She's getting the authorities. Good. I need someone to watch.
Watch.
And so a new lady comes in with her kid, and that kid wants to see the big chicken ride the horsey.
Of course.
So grandma gives her a quarter.
Are you gonna watch? Oh, great.
She starts it up and just
Oh, yeah.
bam, fucking feathers everywhere. Everyone leaves except grandma and this kid, and she says, "Well, that was the worst mall promotion I've ever seen." And so the other lady brings the manager from Baskin Robbins, and when he grabs Chicken Lady's arm, she fucking orgasms all over again.
Bye, horsey. See you tomorrow.
So yeah, I must have done Chicken Lady impressions like all the damn time.
I tell people I'm born in a stable all the time.
Born in a
I was born in a stable.
There are probably more good Chicken Ladies, but that's all we're gonna do.
There's all the good chicken ladies.
I've got a brief mention for Daryl.
Actually, my name is
Daryl.
Daryl.
So that was Mark McKinney as the douchey arty guy with the ponytail. The flying pig. Bruce and the flying pig. So every time
Right.
people wait in line, he comes by and entertains people at lineups. Wow, what a lineup.
Oh,
look at me.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey. Hee, hee, hee. I see the line is thinning out a bit. I guess my work is done.
Bye.
And then the last one and then it ends with Kevin's lining up for, or no, was it? I don't remember which one it was. One of
No,
them, they're in a
Kevin,
line
yeah.
for free food and they're waiting for the flying pig to come entertain the crowd.
Right.
But they're like, oh no, this is a line for roast flying pig.
Right.
He was entertaining people and hit the wires and fried to death.
Oh.
Now he's entertaining
entertaining-
people in heaven.
The line up in heaven. Oh.
Then I've got Francesca Fiore and Bruno Punce Jones.
Bruno Punce Jones. Gabon.
Yes, so Francesca is Scott, Bruno is Dave Foley, and
Right.
and so I wrote Italian, Spanish, Uruguayan, and I'll tell you why I was confused because then in the Darcy Pinnell show appearance, she calls her San Francisco Fire
Right.
Fresco Floor Show,
Yeah.
and
From
she says,
Uruguay.
"I'm from Uruguay. My mother's from Norway. My passport says Brazil.
So
So you're
Irish.
Irish? Yeah." So that's why I was confused.
Right.
And so she shows a clip of the movie that she's in with her former lover and future pimp, Bruno Punce Jones, who's playing Russian roulette in the audience.
Right.
And so the clip from the movie is Bruno comes to a door. She opens the door, disrobes, and you see him counting something, which
Right.
are not really clear. His eyes get wide. He's counting. Cut to
Right.
him exiting the home, all disheveled. Her closing the door, laughing.
Yeah.
And then she says to the host, "Oh, you could shoot, bang, bang, but show 7 genitals and kaput." So yeah, that's apparently in that movie.
7
She had 7 genitals.
Genitals.
So and that's an ongoing.
Right. That
They
comes
do
up.
their dramatic
A
little.
lot of these come up over and
Yeah,
over,
over and
again.
over.
Like it's
Gavin
yes
by
the-
Bruce McCullough.
The little annoying neighborhood kid, and he goes around annoying the adults with his tall tales from elementary school.
Yep. And the one where the Mormons come to the door.
Right.
They're sorry. Did you know that movie stars get their hair cut every day?
At my school, one kid, we used to think he shaved his head, but it turned out his dad was just strict.
And they're like, we were wondering if we could come in and talk to you at great lengths about the Lord. Sure, come in.
Yeah.
And after my mom died, I got so many casseroles. And the dad comes down all draped in a twister mat. Who's
Right.
that?
A human hangover.
I eat inedible things for money. I'll eat your Bible. It will take days of snacking. Do you know if your mom dies and you tell the bus driver you can get on for free? Perhaps if you just held the Bible, something would sink in.
Like-
oh no, that's what they tell him. So
Right.
perhaps if you just held the Bible, something would sink in. Like there's no heaven. So yes, Gavin was just always annoying.
Right.
The butcher, the baker,
Of
the
course,
candlestick maker.
He annoyed them all.
And now, one of my faves. This is both a fave sketch, but also a fave set of characters.
Of course.
Gordon and Fran.
Yes.
So Gordon was Bruce McCullough, the husband.
Right.
Fran is Scott Thompson, and they were like not elderly, but they were supposed
like
to
a
be in like their
middle-aged
50s.
couple.
Yeah. Open on Bruce McCullough gulping water straight from the pitcher
Out
next
of the
to bed.
pitcher.
Just gulping it down. Just coming down
Right.
his chin. He's stopping to burp.
Belching. More water.
Wife wakes up. Gordon, what are you doing up, hon? It's after 2 a.m.
It's that salty, bloody ham.
The ham we had at dinner?
Yeah. Yes. Was there another ham?
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like the ham, dear. It was a little bit salty.
Well, you certainly wolfed enough of it down.
I didn't wolf it down. A man works all day, expects a normal ham.
A normal ham meal, not
Yeah.
goddamn bastard
Bastard
brine.
brine!
Well, I don't know what could have gone wrong. Something did. Did you drop it in salt on the way
Right.
home, perhaps?
Was it a bargain ham? Help me out here, honey. Did you stuff the ham with salt?
Oh, no, Gordon. You can't stuff a ham, silly. There's no hole to
Yeah,
stuff.
there's no hole to stuff.
A pig. Now, a whole pig, but I don't know how to cook a pig. Barbara would know. I'll call her.
I'll call her.
Put down that phone. No one asked you to cook a goddamn pig.
Right? A man my age shouldn't be up all night looking for Gatorade streams in the backyard.
Which I never caught the first time in
No.
rewatching it. I had to go, did he just say Gatorade streams?
And isn't
He sure
Gatorade
did.
with the electrolytes, isn't it a little bit salty? And there's
You didn't know that
sodiums?
back then. It was
Yeah.
just hydration.
I know. It's a lie.
And so, yes, let's be fair to the ham, dear. It's a salty food. And he tells her, you come from a long line of horrible cooks.
Right. He's going to get a big old pus boil right on his neck.
Is that what you want? A boil shooting salt pus at you?
Oh, Christ, I work hard all day. I expect a normal
Normal
ham
ham
meal,
meal.
not voodoo pork.
You know what this reminds me of, don't you? The mushroom pork incident.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
I see a pattern. I'm banishing pork. And she tells him, well, you seem to know so much about cooking. Why don't you do the cooking around here? Shut up.
Shut up. It gets my goat.
You wake me up in the middle of a lovely dream to harangue me about some stupid ham.
Shut up. I am tired. I am salty. I require silence.
But then he
Gives a
gives her a
little-
little pat.
Pat on the toots.
Oh, you old soldier. Like, is that what you say to your wife of like 50 years? You old
He's putting her
soldier.
through it.
And so he's like, you know what I did like? I like that nice dessert.
Right.
The Jello 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Remember Jello? What?
Be on your guards. It's next to the ham. You might have some salt transference.
Bleh.
So she calls Barbara when he leaves the room. It's Fran. Sorry to wake you, but you know how to cook a whole pig.
Right?
Oh.
Oh, da-da-da, da-da-da,
Yes, so
da-da-da.
the
Oh,
salty
that's not the
ham, you can
music.
find that. It'll be in our playlist for sure, but
It'll
you can
be
also
there.
just look up Kids in the Hall salty ham.
Of course.
Now, the head crusher.
I am crushing
your
your
head.
head. Crush, crush, crush. It is so cruel. It is cruel to the child. I am crushing his head. Crush, crush, crush.
That's what else you need to say. He encounters the face pincher at one point.
Oh, his arch nemesis.
Who says he invented this practice and he's trying to explain it. And he's like, no,
Nah.
you're on my turf.
Yes, they have.
They
a
have the
battle.
head crush face pinch battle.
Oh no!
And he presses his hand. Oh God, we should take a picture of
Yes,
us with
we
one
have
of us
to
trying to
do-
press the other one's hands open. Oh, don't mess with a pro, buddy.
Yes.
Mr. Heavyfoot was a fave of mine, which I don't even know why, but I used to do
He just
walk
had heavy
around like
feet.
Mr. Heavyfoot,
Fiend.
and I thought that was fucking hilarious when I was
Fiend.
10. It's a fact.
It's a fact.
The Queen of England doesn't know her ABCs anymore. She had a lot of fucking facts. I didn't write them down.
It's a fact.
Maud and Jocelyn, the I think on there it was just the
prostitutes?
whores or
The
something they called it.
whores.
Yeah, the whores. And they had the nicest pimp ever, Rudy,
course.
which was
Yeah.
Kevin McDonald. And so all of theirs are just kind of cute little short ones of like
Right.
when the one where a shy man approaches and she uses a sock puppet
Yeah.
to coax him into asking for sex.
Right.
And when she takes the puppet
he
off,
runs away.
that's what he wanted was the
right.
puppet.
I want the everybody loves puppets.
Yes. Sir Simon Milligan.
Ah,
And manservant
evil.
Hecubus.
Evil.
So they are in the pit of ultimate darkness, which is just
Oh.
like bars, restaurants, wherever we'll have him. I think at
Right.
one point it looks like they have a TV show or something like a public
something
access
like
show.
yeah.
And there's a crossover because Simon goes on a date at one point with a woman who says, "My last boyfriend had a cabbage for a head."
Right.
Hecubus shows up and tells Simon, "I got your rash cream." Evil.
Evil.
And I'm not going to say this next part because there are some things we're not going to say in there.
Probably not good.
And so basically the girl is very racist.
Very.
And so Hecubus throws the zombie dust of Haiti in her face and Simon commands her to embrace him and kiss him and she fucks off
Of course.
because it was just common talcum powder.
It was-
Speed thee to hell!
Oh.
And then he gets stuck and then he like literally goes to
floor?
hell and gets like
Yeah.
stuck in the floor.
Oh.
That was a weird one.
Yes, that was.
There's the one where they swap jobs for the day.
Instead of using the sleep of ages on
Hecubus
Simon,
injects him with sodium pentothal.
makes him say his true age.
Evil.
Evil.
Asks him if he likes 16-year-old girls.
No, I do not like 16-year-old girls. That would be wrong.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you lust after 16-year-old girls?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Evil.
Evil.
Then I've got the Sizzler sisters.
Yes.
I'm Jerry Sizzler. So this is two insane people, Kevin and Dave, break out of the asylum and
Right.
steal 2 wigs and 2 donkeys.
Because, yeah.
And they go to a nightclub. And they demand a piano player.
Yep.
And the guy tries to warn the crowd, like, you're going to have a great time describing this show to the police when it's over. Go. And everyone's just looking at him. So they
Right.
get on stage. They immediately throw the piano player they requested off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jerry Sizzler.
And this is my sister.
Jerry Sizzler. And they badly sing Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree.
Yes.
Pull up a man from the audience saying he's Roy Orbison.
Hey, Roy Orbison, everybody.
I can't say
Roy
it. Orbison.
Orbison.
Orbison, I think. I wrote an N in there, but there's not
Gabon?
an N in there. Gabon. Then there's one where they try to rob a bank, but they are depositing money.
Right.
And then had not seen this till my rewatch, but there
Oh,
is
that's right.
a reunion of the Sizzler sisters where Dave Foley's sister gets on his meds. And Kevin McDonald's sister comes knocking on the door wanting to know why they're not out doing the Sizzler sister act. And he's like sane and married now. But he's like basically rattles him so bad that he turns back into Jerry Sizzler and they take off into the night in their wigs and robes once again.
I wonder if they'll make an appearance.
They should.
They should.
Then we have pop star Tammy.
Oh, yes.
Which those gams on Bruce McCullough though.
I know.
He had some nice legs. So Tammy was first introduced by Buddy Cole.
Right. That found her at a McDonald's serving fries to the unappreciative. And I knew when she said, Mr. Cole, do you need a beverage?
Oh, and so she's the first song is the celebration,
Yeah.
penetration,
Yeah.
and dance. And
And
dance.
dance.
And then it's all just
Dance.
pouting and drinking milk.
Right. And then they do the press conference where Buddy Cole's the man behind the curtain.
He's back there like the Wizard of Oz.
right. And then they let her talk anyway. And she's like, dumb.
They're like, what's your stance on abortion?
Never on the first date.
And he says, and then Buddy says it reminds him of the time he was having sex
Right.
with Charles Manson, and Squeaky said, will you two sit down? You make a better door than a window, which I get
don't
the
know.
reference, but I don't know what it had to do with what was happening to Tammy.
No.
And then, of course, the other Tammy sketch that stuck in my mind is she's in an executive's office. He gives her a
Right.
card with his number. Did you get the roses?
Why did you send me roses?
As a token of my appreciation of you. Stop. Do I want love? Of course I do. But do you think I'm so dumb that I go out with you? And then she does her,
Lavender, whatever.
I ain't going to spread for no roses.
I ain't gonna spread for no roses.
Nuh-uh. Joan of Arc never did. Better dead than spread.
Oh.
We got Kathy with a C and Kathy with a K.
Right. The Secretary.
For AT and Love.
Right.
And they're in a ton and they're all hilarious. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, you can sum it up with Tanya, the temp, slut,
Temp slut.
That's all you need to know.
Tanya.
We got Weston Esterhazy,
Weston
celebrity gossip.
Esterhazy.
So there was Weston
Can
and
you
Virgil.
hear what I'm doing with my
Yeah,
mouth
we're gonna have to
right
post
now?
some pictures of us doing this with our mouth, doing
Yeah.
the Weston
Post
Esterhazy.
some pictures of us making this fish face.
Yes, it's great. And so it's Weston and Virgil is his best friend. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of old celebrity references.
Apparently, Tina Yothers.
It's really 51 years old. And he calls on the Garfield phone. Virgil calls him on the Garfield phone. And he's like, I'm watching my own copy of the Rob Lowe videotape. Whoa! Excellent!
The Rob Lowe videotape.
It's kind of boring. The girls are down to their panties, but Rob's just spending half an hour lighting the room and adjusting the camera. And so he comes over to watch the Rob Lowe movie. 30 Helens agree.
30 Helens agree.
And so I have just a list. 30 Helens in a field say, coleslaw deserves another chance.
Do.
Love hurts. He'll break your heart, honey. Honesty is the best policy. You can't pay too much for a good pair of shoes. Tattoos aren't for everyone, but they do help you remember a guy. 29 Helens agree. Promptness is important. One was late. If you want to remember something, write it down. Great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. And 30 Helens can't agree. Can't we just agree to disagree? 30 Helens agree to disagree.
There's a time and a place to show photos of your children.
There were probably more. There was so many
I'm
30
sure.
Helens agree. Kim's our 31st Helen tonight.
Yes.
Do you agree?
No.
No! She's the 31st Helen who
She does
disagreed.
not agree.
And you know what we know? Daves.
These are the Daves I know.
These are the Daves I know. And I'm not going to go through all the specific Daves, but what you do need to know is some of them are Davids, but most of us are Daves. They all have their own hands, but they come from different moms. That's all you need to know.
And my
put that in
husband's
the
name is
list,
Dave.
too.
That's a Dave I
She
know.
got a Dave.
I got me a
She
Dave.
got a Dave. Girl drink drunk.
Oh.
Dave Foley gets a promotion to vice president, and his boss wants to celebrate with a drink, but he doesn't drink.
No.
Never liked the taste.
No.
What about a chocolate choo-choo?
Tastes like candy. Don't disappoint me.
And so this is like starts this where he goes
It's
all
like a
over town
downward
getting
spiral. It's
crazier
kind of-
fruity drinks.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah, a montage of him running through the streets in search of girl
Right,
drinks, passed
yes.
out at his desk with a drink umbrella in his hand.
He's taking it out of the trash.
He goes into the storage closet with a blender and all of his fixins and blends himself up a fucking margarita.
Oh. Ask for a squash strawberry alley cat.
And his boss really makes it for him with a crazy straw and everything
Hey.
to fire him that he's
Right.
missed a whole week's work.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
It's
You're
your
a girl drink drunk.
Oh, we gotta let you go.
I feel responsible, but I don't care. And then it ends with him like having a kid buy him a slushie at a stand in a park and he's pouring liquor in it.
Oh, it's kind of sad.
We've got my pen.
My pen.
My pen. Have you seen my pen?
Did I loan you my pen?
Bruce McCullough can't find his pen.
Right. It's not in
And
his pocket.
he remembers he loaned it to Kevin McDonald and he's outside with the pen in his pocket.
Well, first he asked, like, Scott Thompson's like, oh, you could borrow my pen, and like hands him that nod on.
yeah,
but
that
it's
chewed up
nasty.
pen.
I wouldn't want that pen either. But yes, he goes out and finds Kevin McDonald. He thinks back.
Yeah, and remembers where it went. And he fucking grabs onto this cab.
Yes.
And is like flying, my
like,
pen!
"Oh,
my
is-
pen!
Is that all you wanted? Like, here it is. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I took it.
And it ends with this huge contraption he builds on his head to hold his pen so
Right.
that no one can take it.
Of course.
This one is a little more, I didn't remember it until I saw it. So Kevin McDonald's sitting at the table and he's saying, Belle Biv DeVoe, Belle Biv DeVoe, cornflakes. Can't eat cornflakes without a whole lot of milk.
Yeah,
whole lot of
milka.
milka. And then he pans over and there's a kid sitting at the table and he goes, your mother's cheating on me. Belle Biv DeVoe. Gotta fix the car. Can't fix the car without a whole lot of milk.
Milka.
And he takes the milk pitcher outside and pours it in the rose bushes.
'Cause-
It was so weird, but like just the Belle Biv DeVoe
Belle Biv
and the
DeVoe.
whole lot of milka.
Yeah.
Just cracked me up.
Uh,
I have a honorable mention for the Eradicator.
the Eradicator, who is also back. I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the Eradicator.
And he only didn't he only have one sketch, but it was like in the first series, or
I
was
wanna
he
say it was like
recurring?
the first episode, but I feel like he came up a couple of times. He must have.
So he would challenge them to
squash.
yeah,
Right.
And he was not great at it, but he
Well,
was
he-
intense.
Yes, very intense. You will be beat by the Eradicator.
And he had like a ski mask on and
Yes.
shit. He slept in the squash
Well, that's
court
why he had
be
to
ready.
like reveal his identity. Isn't it like what he lost and he was like, "Oh, do you want
They're
me
like,
to take
"No,
off my
we
mask?"
don't
He's like,
wanna
"No,
unmask
it's
you."
fine."
They're like, trust me, nobody wants to feel really sorry for the guy
Right.
who's in there. Sarcastic guy.
Oh, this has been a problem my whole life.
And Kevin McDonald's like, sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. And he's like,
No, really. Why don't you want to talk to me?
nobody likes, and he really does
Yeah,
have
he
a
just has a
speech
thing
impediment
where
where
he
he has to
sounds
be sarcastic
sarcastic.
all the time. And my very last honorable mention is one I didn't remember, and I'm only bringing it up because of the way it connects to our podcast,
Yes.
which is Kevin McDonald meeting a friend. They're both women. It's him and Dave dressed as women. They're meeting for lunch after not seeing for a long time, and he's immediately focused on Dave Foley's weight, that like,
Right.
you've gained weight. And Dave Foley's like, okay, I haven't seen you in 6 years. I don't remember. And he's like, how much do you think I weigh? I don't know. I don't want to guess. 108.
You don't weigh 108. Bitch.
A thin 11-year-old girl weighs 108.
I know.
I know. My scale says I weigh 108.
Then that scale is broken.
And like, if you haven't listened to the Batman episode,
Kim Basinger weighs about 108.
and I don't know if this was a reference to that
I
or if
don't know,
108 is
but-
just the magic number.
That you use when you're fucking lying.
Yeah, but you don't weigh 108 unless you're 4'8".
only if she's 5'3".
Right,
Whoopsh,
exactly.
whoopsh.
And then we did also watch Brain Candy. I don't
Yeah.
want to not mention it.
We did. It was kind of a weird, because I looked up a bunch of stuff about it, and there was a bunch of dark shit happening around this movie about curing depression. Like, I guess they kind of knew that the show was ending, and Kevin McDonald, I think, lost a parent,
Oh.
and Scott Thompson lost a brother to suicide, and they had trouble getting Kevin McDonald out to like do his scenes because he was
Oh.
too sad. It was sad. And the whole thing's about curing depression.
And now Mark McKinney's clearly Lorne Michaels,
Yes,
right?
he is. They did say yes, he's Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, Lorne Michaels made Kids in the Hall.
Yes,
And
Lorne Michaels.
He must just love when people do impressions.
I
of
don't
him, 'cause
know if he
Dr. Evil's
does.
also him.
I know.
And he made both those movies.
I know.
He must not
he
hate it.
made them. I think it was Mark McKinney that ended up on Saturday Night Live. For
Yeah,
a very
Mark
short
McKinney had
period.
a short stint on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And so this movie,
Well, this
this
show,
movie and this
movie,
show,
the whole
Kids in the
thing.
Hall, we love.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing the new thing in the future and the past now.
Yeah, and since we went long, we do have yearbook signings, but I think I'm going to save them for our next regular
Let's
episode.
Save it.
And I don't even know if we'll do Invasion of the Pod People. You'll know. It'll be after the outro
Yeah,
if it's there.
then it's, I mean, maybe stay on there for a little bit afterwards and see if we do it. I don't know. Maybe we will.
But, can we leave without running?
Oh, no. Later, Doomer.